It's not often that I get excited about new camera releases. So when I saw the announcement for the DJI 4D, I thought it was cool. There was a lot of hype around it. People were saying that it was reinventing the way we shoot, and I don't know if a camera really could do that. Now, back in October, I did get to test one. It was a very scientific test that I got to do over at Mati's office. Oh, that's crazy. Look at this. Gerald Undum would be proud of me for that camera test. I still wasn't convinced. For me, I'm a handheld filmmaker. I love shooting all of my films handheld. So when DJI reached out to me and asked if I wanted to test this, I thought, well, let's see if it can work for me on set. Can I integrate it into the films we're making? And here's some of the first footage I shot after just testing it for a few minutes in my office. Within a few seconds of using that camera, we were blown away and pretty much had our minds changed on how this thing can work. I couldn't believe how smooth this footage was. I'm gonna get into all the kind of the details of what I like and some things I'm not so sure of on this camera, but the most fundamental thing that I would want you to take away from this video is this camera works. Okay, all right, we'll see if this works. It just worked no matter what position I was in the car, hanging out with one hand. Even at one point, I was through the sunroof with my arms on the windshield. No matter where I put the camera and how I held it, it was perfectly smooth. It felt like I was doing handheld filmmaking, but with a gimbal on the front, which is amazing. Like the fact that they came up with a camera with a gimbal in handheld mode, it's awesome. Even the director of the film, Mike, was so blown away by it.
Wow, it's smooth, Mark. Yeah.
This is next level. Just so you guys know, I used to just hold the camera out of the car and shoot like this. I love this camera.
Normally, my back would be really sore right now because I would have to be holding a camera out in front of me to take away from the bumps, but I've literally had this camera wedged in up against my legs. I'm blown away. This is like, it's a whole new world. I really don't like gimbals. They're not my style. I own one, but I barely use it. I just find you gotta get all the balancing going, and then by the time you're ready to go, it feels like you're using some foreign contraption. It doesn't feel that intimate experience you get from handheld. And I also always feel like I'm fighting a computer when I'm doing gimbals, but I picked this up and within seconds, I knew how to use it. I was getting these amazing shots of clear sky running out of the back of the car. I was panning up from the sky down to Sean. I was going from fields over to him. That's probably the biggest plus about this whole camera system is if you don't like gimbals, it likes you. There's a couple different modes. This is pan follow. It kind of just follows your pans, but it won't change your tilt. You can see how straight that is. Then there's also pan and tilt follow. So when I look up, it looks up. And as I'm panning, it's following. And then there's also first person view, which kind of goes wherever you're looking. It's what you'd see if you were actually going handheld. That's wild. And so a few things that I like about this. One was the focusing system. It's a bit like a video game. As you're watching the waveform, it'll show you where your subject's face is, and it's really easy to interact with manual focus. The autofocus on this is really good too. Now, the one little beef I would have is, I don't know if it's a setting you have to change, but when I would click from manual to autofocus, the camera would do this quick snap zoom where it would go through the full focus range on the lens, and it would ruin the shot. It would give it this like quick blur punch. Now, I'm sure there's a setting you could change on this. I'm just not sure. I just wish that when you would flick over from auto to manual, it wouldn't lose where you were focusing, but would slowly go into focus. But I'm really impressed with the way this focus works. You're essentially just moving this dial right here. You're not taking any weight off. You're still supporting the camera, and you're just slightly moving this back and forth, and you're able to really keep people in focus. Within maybe 30 seconds, I was used to this system and was nailing my focus with Sean moving close to us and far away. The second thing I really like about this is balancing. It's super easy. You can even see right now that it's not really all that balanced, but when you power it up, it's not fighting it and you're not getting those crazy jitters like you would if you had a heavier camera system. Because the sensor is so light, it's really easy to balance. Like actually, I could balance this right now. There you go. It's balanced. that was easy. It's not like those gimbals where you're sitting there for 10, 15 minutes trying to nail it and moving things slightly, and then when you add a filter, suddenly it's all out of balance. This is just super simple to work with. Now, that's probably because this yoke is so small and this camera system is so compact that it's easy to balance, and that would be my one little gripe right now is I wish there was a bigger yoke so that I could put in my full cinema lenses. I didn't mind this 35mm, but I have awesome Sigma Art Series lenses that I would love to use on this, and they were kind of pushing the weight category and are too tall to actually be able to spin through the yoke here. So I hope that DJI comes out with a bigger yoke soon enough so that you can use a wider variety of lenses.
Even on these bumps, I'm not seeing anything.
You're not feeling it?
No, I'm not seeing it. Just your stomach is. It looks like a Russian arm, dude.
My last point that I really like about this camera is the design. I've kind of mentioned this. It really feels like a camera person designed this. Everything from the way that you hold it to how simple it is to make adjustments, that you really feel like a camera person was behind the design team on this and not just some random scientists in a lab. One thing I really like about the 4D is that I never have to take my hands off these controllers. I can just hit mode and switch between like my ISO or even my ND, which is really nice. I don't have to take my hand off and hold the weight and touch the side. They really thought about just a single person operating this camera and never having to take your hands off these controls. So it's great. There's other camera systems I use that have words like thumbnail as the playback button. That's just call it playback. You could just call it playback. Why not just call it playback? It's playback. You're playing back the footage. You're not thumbnailing the footage. I really like the way this is designed. I didn't really have to learn a whole new camera system. I watched one 10-minute video, messed around with it for 5-10 minutes in my office, and then I was on set shooting beautiful gimbal moves. So Landon here, come in Landon. Landon's not a camera guy. He doesn't use cameras. But we're gonna go look at his footage and see how easy this is to use, because this was his first time using a gimbal, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, we'll go see how good it is. And do your spin like we did exactly last time. This is usable. I can use that. Even at that 3, that's totally usable. That's really good.
I'm hired.
I don't like your choice of set with the garbage cans.
Oh, I was just trying to keep you in frame.
What a time to be alive. Honestly, this is the first time in a long time that I've been this excited about getting a camera in my hands. And I really think I'm gonna buy one of these, not because I'm gonna use it for every shot, but because those times that we want to do gimbal work, I want to use a system like this, where I know it's going to be in focus. I know we can grab a quick wireless monitor and we don't have to worry about weight restrictions or balancing. We can just grab this camera right out of the box and get shooting. That's how we approach our documentaries. We want to work quick, and that's probably why I like handheld filmmaking, is I can get 10 different shots by the time a normal gimbal operator would get one. But with this camera, I feel confident that I can start moving closer to the speed that I do with my handheld filmmaking. And the last thing I would say is the color space is really easy to work with. Now, the footage does not like my standard LUTs that I use on my Sony cameras, and I love my LUTs. That's what I'm using right now on this footage, as you can see. So when I threw one of my LUTs on this, it looked terrible. But when I used a simple S-curve on this footage, it looked great. Skin tones were fantastic, the color punched. It's really easy to work with. So if you're not good at color correcting, the footage is really simple to work with. Now, I wish kind of some of my LUTs would work, but I'm gonna spend some more time tweaking the colors. So it's not a big beef of mine, because if it was difficult to color correct, then I would be upset, but it really isn't. A curve makes this look amazing, which is great. I don't know why all log footage can't just be done with a curve. It feels like you have to kind of color correct log footage for like 10 minutes or just slap a LUT on it. So overall, bravo DJI. I am genuinely enthused about this camera. I don't like endorsing cameras I don't really care about. It's why you don't see me doing many camera reviews on this channel, because I'd rather talk about storytelling and directing, because that's gonna help your career. Who cares about what camera you're using? Focus on the stories you're telling. But that said, I do care about this camera because this helps me tell better stories. So thank you DJI for letting me test this out. I'm gonna actually try and get it out on a couple more shoots before I have to return it. But that is my simple director's review of the 4D. Overall, 2 thumbs up. I'm very impressed. And if you get the chance to use it, I highly recommend it. It's not completely a new way of approaching filmmaking, but it embraces your intuition as a camera person, which is really cool. Again, if you want to know more about documentary filmmaking, our course is opening up in just a few weeks on March 7th. We talk about all things from how to do handheld camera operating to how to direct a film and actually how to find a good story. We have over 100 videos in our course between the 2 modules. And we have thousands of students who are part of this, and they're telling us that our course is changing their careers. Put that link below. We open up the course just twice a year, 1 week each, so there's not many times to get in this course, and we'll be opening it on March 7th again with an early bird rate. So get on that wait list so you can get that early bird discount because it's only available for 72 hours. Awesome, thank you for watching this. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys on the next one.